Hi, my name's Nick James. I'm the producer of the Digital Marketing Show that's taking place in Excel on the 26th to 28th of November. Whatever stage you are on your digital journey, there will be something for you at the Digital Marketing Show, whether you're a beginner, whether you're an intermediate, or whether you're an expert. The difference between the Digital Marketing Show and other similar events is that it's aimed at mainstream marketers. It's not a tech event, it's not an event for geeks, it's an event for people that really want to understand how they can grow their business or improve their business through digital and digital marketing. The following interviews will give you an insight into the world of digital marketing, but if you want to know the full picture, you need to come on down to the show in Excel in November. It's free and registration is now open.
I think there are times when we're reaching a point now where just because data exists, we feel we have to look at it. It's seductive. We feel this desperate need. And big data says to me, there are huge data sets, let's look at them, let's see what we can find. And sometimes that is a very powerful thing. We think about implications for how that might help in government with relation to sort of public services and how that could make these things sort of more efficient. However, I also think that there's a danger that we sort of focus on size. And at the end of the day, to quote Yoda from Star Wars, size matters not. In reality, the size of your data is just about what is the problem that you're trying to solve. You need sufficient data to find an answer to that question. That might be small, that might be large. Sometimes you may need to mine masses of data in order to get the answer. Sometimes something as simple as listening to a few key individuals might be sufficient. So the key is size is not the key point. The real issue is, does that data answer your question?
I have to say I'm quite contrarian when it comes to big data. I work in a business that's very niche and where people don't want to share a lot of information. For example, I couldn't send out a survey and expect people to share a lot of their data with me. Often when people buy an item from my website, they might even use a made-up email address. So it's all about discretion within my business. So I have to look at more lateral ways of finding out information, and I think it's very true that a more progressive digital marketer will look beyond the traditional demographic profile and will look more at the behaviour of their current customers. So for me, what I do is I look a lot more at the behaviours of my current customers rather than desperately trying to find a demographic profile of a customer that is imaginary to me at this point.
I saw somebody speak about a year ago now, a guy called Bob Parsons, who's head of geospatial tech at Google, on the topic of big data and what is understood to be big data. And it was something that really resonated with me personally, having worked for a search engine and seen truly big data, where your data is measured in additional dimensions. It's not just rows of data and the volumes and the kind of amounts of data points, but there tends to be a fourth dimension, for example, time. And the illustration that Bob Parsons used in giving a true example of what big data is velocity. So in the example of Twitter, tweets per second, and that's where data becomes big. So it's not a matter of how many actual tweets occur on a given topic in a given geographical location, but if you think about something like the Hudson River landing, for example, when the data becomes big is because you've got that specific spike in velocity.
The Digital Marketing Show will have over 150 expert speakers, 100 exhibitors. It's a great place to come whatever stage you are on your digital journey, and it's free to attend. Registration is now open.